Stop shrinking to fit into places that you have outgrown. Welcome back to the Twin Win, the only live stream on the internet that helps you get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home so that you can stop existing and start living. If you're joining me live, give me a hashtag live. If you're joining me on replay, give me a hashtag replay. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, follow, and notification bell so that you can be notified every time we go live or drop a new video. Now, I want to talk to you about this. Stop shrinking to fit into places that you've outgrown. We outgrow people, we outgrow places, we outgrow institutions, we outgrow certain things in our life, and that's okay. We are designed to grow. God put us on this planet to grow, to always seek improvement, to become better. But what happens sometimes is as we grow, some people don't like that. Some people are not growth minded, and that's okay. That's their choice, or that's on them. But they make us feel bad for growing. They make us feel bad because we are outgrowing them, because we're learning more, we're becoming more, we're doing more. I love the word becoming. You notice I say that a lot in my videos. We're becoming more. Who are we becoming? We're becoming more. They don't like that. They want us to stay with them. And so they make us feel bad. Now, what happens is, because these are friends, I've had this friend for my whole life, or I've known this person since high school. I've known this person for the last 10 years. And so we don't want to offend them. And I'm not saying you need to be offensive, but what I'm saying is we don't want to offend them. We think we'll offend them by continuing to grow. In reality, this is what happens. If we continue to grow, that friendship, either that friend will change and say, hey, cool, good for you. Or they'll say, hey, I see the success you're having. I want to grow. And they'll come along and you'll be able to mentor them. Or third, they'll just fall by the wayside, meaning that friendship will naturally just kind of drift. You don't have to break it up. You don't have to tell them goodbye. It'll just naturally drift. And maybe you see them once every 10 years instead of seeing them every day for 10 years, right? But unfortunately, what happens most of the time as we're growing, and then this starts to happen, we start to shrink back. We try to fit back. We're like a hermit crab that's outgrown its shell, and then we're trying to fit back into the old shell. We start squeezing ourselves down. Well, what that does is a couple of things. One is it causes a negative cognitive dissonance, because in our mind, we know we're more. We know we're growing. We want to grow. We have that desire. And our brain is telling us that. And yet we're consciously trying to force our brain, trying to force our language, trying to force our actions, trying to force all of these things back into this small container of who we used to be. We're shrinking. So what's eventually going to happen is what growth we have made will atrophy. Because we're forcing ourselves back to shrink into this container, we'll lose what we gained. And we'll wind up staying there. Now, that's not good for you. That's not good for your friends. That's not good for anybody. Stop shrinking to fit into containers that you've outgrown. Stop shrinking to fit into social circles that you've outgrown. Stop shrinking to fit into business models that you've outgrown. Stop shrinking to fit into partnerships that you've outgrown. Stop shrinking. Grow into that next level. Take who you can with you. One of the greatest things about my marriage is my wife and I both believe in personal growth. And so sometimes she's learned something, she's ahead of me, but she brings me along. She teaches me. And because I'm open-minded, and it's not about I have to be the leader or I have to be the one teaching, I say, great, that's awesome. That's a great lesson. Let's do that. And we come along and we grow. And then the other times, I'm the one who's ahead, and I share with her what I've learned and where I've grown, and she comes along. But the point is because we both are dedicated to that growth, we can grow together. Sometimes leapfrogging each other, sometimes literally walking side by side in that growth. But we don't ever expect each other to shrink back down once we've learned something. We try to grow, to expand, to level up to where that person is. And for those of my friends, by doing that, I've made some incredible friends, some incredible new friends that are all about growth, and we grow together. And then other friends that are way beyond me, and I'm growing to catch up to them, and they're helping me come along. But then I've also had some friends that they've seen my growth and they're uncomfortable with that. I've even had some family members. My wife has had some family members my wife's grown, and rather than recognizing it as growth, they go, you changed, or you're not the same person, or why are you acting this way now? You've never acted this way before. And they get offended, and my wife just says, I don't have time for that. I say, I don't have time for that. And in some cases, it's been a hard, you know what? If you're going to act that way, then I can't have you in my circle. Other times, it's just been a natural just drifting apart. And we talk less and less, right? Whether it's a friend or a family member or a former mentor that maybe I've outgrown them because they stopped growing. This is where I usually jump in to tell people, don't ever hire a coach who doesn't have a coach themselves. Don't ever hire a coach that doesn't have a coach themselves. Everybody needs a coach, even the top dog coach. But anyhow, that's the idea, is that don't shrink down. Don't shrink. Stop shrinking. You're growing. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And you've got such amazing potential and growth in you. Why would you give that up for a handful of human beings? I know maybe you grew up with them. Maybe they're your friends. Maybe they're your family, but they're still just human beings. If you're called to a higher and holier plane and they're not willing to support you or come along with you, that's okay. But keep growing. Let it work itself out. Keep growing. All right? That's my message to you. So my challenge, my call to action is, who do you need to let know today? Who can you talk to today to let them know I'm growing? And I appreciate you as a friend, and you can either support me and or come along with me in this journey, or we're just going to drift apart because this is who I am today. Who do you need to reveal your true self to so you can bust out of that container and show them how much you've grown, how beautiful you are, how amazing you are? That's my message and my challenge to you, so that you can start to succeed in business while winning at home. You'll never do that if you're always trying to stay the way you are. You'll never succeed in business while winning at home. You'll always struggle. And that's how you stop existing and start living, really living for yourself, for who you are. Anyhow, that's my message. Thanks for joining me. Hit the like, subscribe, follow, and notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.